Come on. For the 7th consecutive season, the Kansas City Chiefs are going to the AFC Championship Game. It is an objectively true and wild statement. If your quarterback is Patrick Mahomes, you always play for a conference championship. It remains true 7 years into his career as a starter. The Chiefs beat the Houston Texans 23-14 this afternoon at a frigid Arrowhead Stadium to advance past the divisional round for a 7th consecutive year. This is the 580 Sports Talk YouTube channel. WIBW News on Facebook. 580 Sports Talk instant reaction to another Chiefs playoff victory as the march towards a three-peat will continue for one more week. I'm Dan Lucero. Spencer Dupuis is in with me, and we appreciate you being in with us live on our YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk, to react to that victory and kind of what we expected a little bit, that the Texans had the juice and had the ability defensively to keep this one close and have it close on the scoreboard, and at the end of the game, a 9-point win. But as soon as Kaimi Fairbairn missed that extra point, if there was any hesitation that you felt like, maybe this isn't going to be the Chiefs' day, it probably melted away right there. And if it did melt away then, surely it did when Patrick Mahomes pulled off one of the great plays in his legendary career, a touchdown pass to Travis Kelce to put the Chiefs on top 20-12 early in the fourth quarter. Chiefs defense handled their business from there, and the Chiefs were able to salt the game away with a late field goal. Took an intentional safety late. If you're seeing the score and saying, wait a minute, 23-14, that was 23-12. What happened? Well, Matt Araiza ran out of the back of the end zone with 11 seconds left for an intentional safety to account for the final score. So thoughts and prayers if you got on the Chiefs minus 9.5 at any point this week. That's a bad beat for you, but that's neither here nor there. Chiefs are winners. First reaction to this one, Spencer, another Chiefs win in the divisional round. Spencer is muted. Spencer, please unmute yourself. Spencer, we can't hear you.
There we go. That's better. Man, oh man, playoff Travis Kelce is alive and well. 7 catches, 117 yards, touchdown. And it seems like whenever the playoffs are, Travis Kelce plays his best ball.
Yeah, he's something else, right? 7 for 117 and the touchdown. And he did something that I don't think I saw him do all regular season long. He made guys miss in the open field. Like, that was the fastest that Travis Kelce has looked this season in the open field.
Yeah.
And he made the defender miss on that big play on the drive that ended up giving the Chiefs a 13-3 lead there in the first half. And that was the spryest on a single play that I've seen Travis Kelce look all season long. And if Kelce's got 2 more efforts like that in him, it's going to be very hard to limit this Chiefs offense. The Texans came out with their outstanding pass rush, and they got a couple of huge red zone stops early in the game. And after Nico Remigio's long kickoff return, I said, okay, wow, we might really be in for a beatdown today. Wouldn't that be nice if Chiefs beat somebody down in the playoffs? That never happens. Well, it wasn't to be. Chiefs couldn't move the ball at all from the 13-yard line, had to settle for a field goal, and then settled for a field goal on their second drive of the game as well after a first-and-goal situation turned sour. But over the course of the game, the Chiefs wore the Texans down because Patrick Mahomes was able to get the ball out, because he was able to keep them honest with his scrambling ability, and because Travis Kelce was who Travis Kelce always seems to be in these big games. And when you talk about the rest versus rust debate that people were having over the last 23 days, because that's how long it had been between passes attempted by Patrick Mahomes. And if you want to say that Mahomes missed a touchdown on that opening drive to Hollywood Brown, you want to chalk that one up for the rust side of that debate, I understand. But Exhibit A for why the rest was more valuable than the rust, what 87 did out there today. That was special. And Spencer's muted again. Oh, nope. There he goes. Well, nope. Spencer's muted again. Nope. Now he's not.
There we go. We're good. We're good. Yeah, I mean, I think just having Travis Kelce being the caliber of player he is, like, you're not going to beat him in the playoffs. And, I kind of thought maybe they'd try to get DeAndre Hopkins involved or Hollywood Brown. They tried that deep shot down the field to Hollywood Brown. It was an incompletion. But, really, it was just Kelsey. It was Avery. That was really your basket game tonight. And unfortunately for them, Hollywood Brown and DeAndre Hopkins couldn't get more involved. And shout out to Kareem Hunt for staying in there and them staying on Kareem Hunt for those late big rushes that were in the late of the third quarter or in the fourth quarter for kind of making his day look better than really it was for the most part.
Yeah, I'm glad you pointed out Kareem Hunt, too, because he was critical. And right now he looked like he had a benefit of that rust. Another guy who benefited strongly from the rest that he got. Right now, he looks like he ought to be running back number one. He looks like he's got a little bit more burst right now than Isaiah Pacheco does. And Chiefs jumped on Hunt's back. He had the rushing touchdown and had, as you mentioned, Spencer, some critical carries down the stretch in that fourth quarter that helped the Chiefs put that field goal drive up that made it officially a two-score game. Lots to talk about the offense, and we're going to get to the special teams in a minute. Let's talk defense. How about 8 sacks for the Chiefs on C.J. Stroud? George Karlaftis with 3 of them. And that was the best effort that I have seen from the Chiefs front all season long. Certainly, they turned up the blitz pressure. I half expected to see Steve Spagnuolo like foaming at the mouth on the sideline in the fourth quarter after he unleashed the hounds on that drive that ended in the 15-yard sack that Stroud took on 4th and forever. I was so impressed with how the Chiefs won repeatedly. That was a matchup they should have won against a front that's not very good for the Houston Texans. And they did. They won it over and over again. Huge performance, as we mentioned, for George Karlaftis with 3 sacks. I thought Felix Anudike-Uzomah flashed nicely, had a sack, had a tackle for a loss additionally. Chris Jones was his usual dominant self. Charles Omenihu continues to prove that he is a playoff riser. It was a dominant effort up front, and that is really where the game was won because Houston was able to make some chunk plays in the passing game on that drive that nearly tied the
Wharton
game.
Had a sack there.
Yeah, and that drive that almost tied the game, Stroud was really good on third down, hitting guys over the middle of the field. He was really sharp. But how do you take away the middle of the field? Pressure up the middle. And once the Chiefs started sending the hounds through the middle of the line, that went away. And the Chiefs put Stroud on the ground repeatedly to help put the game away. Spencer, you with us?
I am with you. I'm showing no problems on my end.
Okay, yeah.
I don't understand. I'm showing no problems.
Yeah, you're buffering big time, bud. Is what I can tell you. You're very slow to respond on some of these. It's no big deal. We're live video. These things happen sometimes. Defensive effort was super. Didn't force a turnover. Came close a couple of times. Hold that Houston offense to 14 points. Get the big stops in the fourth quarter when they absolutely needed to. I did want to point out as well that special teams were a huge factor in this football game. Chiefs special teams, those hidden yards, those hidden points. You look at what the Chiefs did where Harrison Butker did not miss a field goal. He went 3 for 3, and he knocked down both of his extra points. Chiefs got the big kickoff return from Nico Remigio that allowed them to have an easy 3 points to start the game. Meanwhile, on the other side, Kymie Fairbairn misses the extra point. Kymie Fairbairn misses that field goal from 55 wide right. I don't know why they tried it. It looked like Justin Reed was able to jump the snap count a little bit and maybe pressure Fairbairn into the miss. And then the block field goal at the end, Leo Chanel, who, of course, blocked the one to win the game against the Broncos. Chanel comes in with the block field goal to completely finish the game. This was a triumph, Spencer, for the Chiefs special teams. They were really, really good. And Spencer has had to remove himself here. So we'll just go a little quicker, a couple of more thoughts. And again, want to hear from you. If you're watching live right now, YouTube, Facebook, jump right on in. Again, the YouTube channel, 580 Sports Talk. Appreciate those of you watching in. Vance, Mark H., see Christopher, see Jeffrey in. It was a very impressive performance. Vance mentioned saying DK Uzama getting a sack. He played really well. He's starting to really flash week in and week out in that rotational defensive end role right now for the Chiefs and making a big impact. That's nice to see from the former first-round pick out of Kansas State. So offense, outstanding. Defense, outstanding. Special teams help win the football game. The Chiefs do what they always do, which is win in the divisional round and move on for the 7th consecutive year to the championship game in the AFC. Have this factoid for you. Our guy, Matt Verderam, tweeted this before the game began. Matt Verderam, our NFL insider and 580 Sports Talk. 8 back-to-back champions in the Super Bowl era. So there have been 8 previous teams that have tried to do what the Chiefs are trying to do, which is win a 3rd straight Super Bowl. The Chiefs are the 4th of 9 teams to even get back to the conference championship game. 76 Steelers, 1990 49ers, 1994 Cowboys all got back to conference championship games. None of them reached the Super Bowl. So that's the big hurdle that faces the Chiefs right now as they try to do something that's never been done in NFL history. We'll get to this. We'll give it all the oxygen it deserves because we've got a commenter in from the Facebook stream. You can watch us on Facebook, WIBW News. We appreciate those of you who are tuning in. We've got Michael in. Michael, appreciate you watching this evening. The referees gave the game to Kansas City. Michael, watch the game, please. First and foremost, watch the game. I didn't know the referees had 8 sacks. I did not know that the referees left Travis Kelce uncovered over the middle repeatedly. I didn't know that the referees made Kaimi Fairbairn miss that 55-yard field goal or miss that extra point or have his field goal blocked at the end of the game. I didn't know the referees did all that. They're awfully powerful, those referees, if they did all of that. Now, there were a couple of flags in that game that went Kansas City's way, specifically Patrick Mahomes' way, that were pretty soft. We can be honest about that, right? Mahomes got the benefit of the doubt, got the star whistle that you see stars get across all major sports. He got the star whistle on a roughing the passer on an early drive, and he got the star whistle on a late hit by Henry To'o on what ended up being the touchdown drive in response to Houston's touchdown drive in the 3rd quarter. We can be honest about that while also being honest and saying referees don't decide the football game, man. There's not a conspiracy. There's not anything that's being rigged. The officials just aren't very good. That's it. That's the only conspiracy. Occam's razor. Simplest explanation is the correct one. The referees just aren't very good. That's why they make calls like that. That's why they miss some pretty obvious calls. I thought Trey Smith got called for a hold at one point. That was a completely bogus hold, and they called him for holding. It was a bad call. Bad calls happen. You know what bad calls don't make you do? Leave 7 points on the football field when you miss a kick, when you miss a bunch of kicks. 7 points left on the field by the Texans. You think that could have meant something in a 9-point game? You tell me what the referees had to do with that, please. So that's all the oxygen that deserves. Anybody arguing that, the referees, they did it again for Kansas City. Shut up. Spencer's back. Spencer, you got a final thought for us? We're going to wrap things up. No, we don't. We don't have Spencer. We'll say goodbye to Spencer. Or no, there he is. There he is. Go ahead.
Yeah, wait.
So delayed. All right, go ahead.
Final thought, Chiefs win. No matter what happens, they won. You can't sack somebody, what is it, that many times. Karlaftis had 3 sacks. Leo Chenal is the MVP of this game. He's done it time and time again on field goals coming in, PATs, or field goals comes in and
All right. Thanks for your time, Spencer. Appreciate you. Thanks to everybody who was watching today. I want to get my final thought in real quick. The Chiefs win a lot of these games because they have great players, because they have great scheme, because they have great coaches. And you just see the difference in a moment like that 4th and forever that Houston found itself in midway through the 4th quarter. It's a 1-score game at the time. Stroud has just been pressured and thrown an incomplete pass, and it's 4th and a mile. And it's a totally defensible decision at that point to go for it because you don't know with the Chiefs offense, you're going to see the ball again in a 1-score game. I totally understand going for it. You got good receivers. You got a great quarterback in C.J. Stroud, who I thought really, really played well, C.J. Stroud. I thought that he deserved some flowers under intense pressure, made some big-time throws, ate the Chiefs up over the middle. I thought it was a good game for C.J. Stroud, but it's defensible to go for it on 4th and 15. What's not defensible, the kind of thing that happens to teams the Chiefs play and never the Chiefs, is they couldn't get out of the huddle. They couldn't get to the line. There was mass confusion. They snapped the ball, just beating the delay of game. It would have been better for them, honestly, if it had been a delay of game. They would have gotten a punt. They snapped the ball right before there would have been a delay of game flag. Stroud's got receivers double covered, and nobody blocks George Karlaftis. And then Stroud eats the 15-yard loss that you can't really eat in that situation. Ended up not burning the Texans because the Chiefs didn't score on that opportunity, so it didn't burn them too bad, but that's the kind of thing. That's the separation. The separation is doing the little things right, being prepared for any scenario, making good decisions, good game theory decisions. That is the difference. That is why the Chiefs keep doing this. As much as it's any other reason, as much as it's Mahomes and home field advantage and Kelsey and Chris Jones and all that, it's about being prepared. It's about being well coached. It's about making good decisions, having your players ready for anything. That's why the Chiefs keep doing what the Chiefs keep doing. We'll have a lot more to say about this on Monday's edition of 580 Sports Talk. We'll be live from 3 to 6 on the Martin Luther King holiday. Hope you will join us then on these same video channels and, of course, on 580 WIBW and FM 104.9 in Topeka. For Spencer Dupuis, I am Dan Lucero, wishing you a very good rest of the night and a hearty go Commanders for our guy Spencer's sake. And thank you again for watching this Chiefs Instant Reaction here on the 580 Sports Talk YouTube channel.